Imagine if the world's biggest asset manager, BlackRock, and some of the most powerful nations on Earth were quietly yet aggressively loading up on Bitcoin, all while the rest of the world is distracted by wars, economic collapse, and hyperinflation. What if I told you that Bitcoin is no longer just a speculative asset? It's now the ultimate defense in this new financial war. And don't forget, this isn't just speculation. BlackRock directly said a week ago they believe Bitcoin will become more and more of a risk-off asset. Stick around because today we're diving into how Bitcoin is becoming the go-to financial force field as the world teeters on the brink of chaos. I'm Rustin, head of news at Simply Bitcoin, and today we're exposing the real game that's being played out behind the scenes. Send it!
To breaking news out of the Middle East now. The Israeli military says Iran has fired missiles at Israel and air raid sirens are sounding across the country.
I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. Bitcoin is not an instrument for hope unless you're hopeful you're going to make a lot of money on it.
We've got the usual suspects in the financial game: wars, inflation, sanctions. It's like watching the same movie on repeat. But here's the plot twist no one's talking about. Bitcoin has now entered the chat as the ultimate power move in this global chess game. Think I'm exaggerating? Well, let's start with BlackRock, the largest asset manager on the planet. These guys manage over $10 trillion. Yes, that's trillion with a T, as in time to buy more Bitcoin. And while most people are selling in fear, guess what BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF was doing? Stacking 650 Bitcoin like they're preparing for, well, the financial apocalypse. I mean, looking at this, it's like watching a bunch of people panic at a clearance sale, but they're throwing away their best assets while BlackRock is casually walking down the aisle and filling up their cart with Bitcoin. They're not scared of these wars or the economy crashing. They're prepping for it. And that's where we need to start paying attention. Now let's hop down to South America, Argentina to be exact. If you haven't been following the news, Argentina's been on the inflation roller coaster for quite a while now. And what do you do when your currency is more unstable than your drunk uncle at Thanksgiving? Well, you start looking at Bitcoin. So during a little meetup with El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, Argentina's vice president showed some serious interest in Bitcoin. And honestly, who wouldn't? Everyone's sitting there watching their currency lose value faster than Argentina can print it. And then there's Bukele casually sipping coffee in El Salvador where Bitcoin is legal tender. If Argentina takes the plunge and adopts Bitcoin on a national scale, that is a massive shift in global financial power. Think about it. South America's third largest economy flipping the middle finger to the US dollar and saying, nah, we're good right here with our Satoshis. They won't be stacking Satoshis. They'll be stacking massive amounts of Bitcoin. But that's a move that would send waves across the globe. Oh, and we're not done. While we're talking about global power plays, let's not forget Russia. You know, that place where geopolitical tensions are as high as Elon Musk on a Twitter bender. But reports are out that Russia is preparing for a long confrontation with the United States. But here's what nobody's talking about. Sanctions, inflation, and trade wars aren't just hurting Russia, they're pushing Russia to Bitcoin. And here's why this is important. Russia's been hit with economic sanctions left, right, center. Their ability to move money around the world is shrinking, and in comes Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin doesn't care about borders or sanctions. It doesn't care about whether you're Putin or Biden. It's neutral, decentralized, it's untouchable by the traditional powers. So what does Russia do? Well, they're legalizing mining and looking to use Bitcoin to bypass sanctions. Think about it. We've been playing financial monopoly for decades and Russia just switched, well, to playing Bitcoin chess. It's 21-dimensional chess. Now let's go ahead and jump to the Middle East. Iran and Israel are officially at war. This is serious, and it's not just about geopolitical power, it's about the collapse of traditional fiat economies. Wars breed uncertainty, and uncertainty breeds chaos in financial markets. Oil prices just jumped 5% when tensions spiked. Stocks are crashing, fiat is falling apart, and here's Bitcoin, sitting in the corner, sipping its drink, saying, hey, I'm scarce, I'm secure, and I'm ready for the future. And here's the most interesting part. While everyone's losing their minds about the war, BlackRock was busy buying Bitcoin. This is what separates the retail traders from the smart money. While everyone is panicking, BlackRock is quietly stacking sats. And it's not just BlackRock, it's nation states, financial elites. They're all getting ready for the next chapter. And that chapter is Bitcoin. Now let's talk ETFs, specifically Bitcoin ETFs. You might have seen the news. Bitcoin ETF inflows have crossed 45 billion. Yeah, billion is in Bitcoin. The fastest growing ETF in history. Here's why it matters. You've got nations like Russia, Argentina, even financial titans like BlackRock, all using Bitcoin to hedge against fiat collapse. They even put out a report basically saying that. But the retail world, they're still in la-la land, thinking fiat's gonna save them. These ETFs are telling us something, that the people who run the financial world, the ones who make the rules, like the actual president, Larry Fink, well, they're loading up on Bitcoin. All right, let's pull this all together. So we've got wars breaking out in the Middle East. Argentina is about to flip the switch on Bitcoin. Russia's making Bitcoin moves to bypass sanctions. And BlackRock is out here loading up during every crisis like they're prepping for the apocalypse. But what does this all mean for you? It means that while the world is focused on short-term chaos, the smart money, nations, institutions, financial elites are all positioning themselves for the long-term game. And that long-term game is Bitcoin. When fiat crumbles, and trust me, it will crumble, the ones holding Bitcoin will be the ones standing tall. Now, I have a crazy theory, but before we bring it home, look at our likes.
Well, you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Hey, it's crazy out here, and securing your generational wealth is essential. Like and subscribe this video, give us a pap, while we take a second to recognize our sponsors, the masters of Bitcoin self-custody, the Bitcoin Way. Simply Bitcoin Originals are powered by the Bitcoin Way. They've got 25 years of experience in cybersecurity. They are your IT team in the Bitcoin world. Whether you're just getting started setting up your first Bitcoin wallet or node, or you're looking into UTXO management, multi-sig security, inheritance planning, or accepting Bitcoin payments, they've got you covered. Not only that, they are focused on all things cybersecurity, Bitcoin security. Time to go from the why Bitcoin to how Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin Way will hold your hand and guide you through every step of the process. Okay, hear me out, guys. But it really is looking like Max Kaiser may not even know it, but I am nearly 100% certain that Uncle Larry has been digging through all of Kaiser's videos. That's right, all the classics. And at this point, it's possible that Kaiser, well, he's basically Uncle Larry's quant. Look at what BlackRock's doing, and look at what's happening right now. What do you do in times of chaos, Max?
You're escaping the central bank system, the fiat money system, with money that allows people to have unconfiscatable property that's completely outside of the current system. And that scares people. If you have a population owning unconfiscatable property that cannot be assailed by any authority. It's completely decentralized, and that's why it's causing the shockwaves around the world.
What did we learn? I guess do like Max and Larry. Wars are fought for control over resources, land, and money, but Bitcoin isn't just money. It's financial freedom. It's the one thing that can't be manipulated, inflated, or destroyed by governments or central banks. That's why BlackRock and nations are loading up. They know Bitcoin is the ultimate defense in the new financial war. So what are you waiting for? The writing's on the wall. Nations are loading up on Bitcoin, and if you're still holding fiat, you're basically sitting on a ticking time bomb. Don't be the guy who looks back and says, I should have stacked when it was obvious. Hey, as always, if you found value in this, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, share this with someone who still thinks the dollar is gonna save them. Give us a pamp and spread the sound money gospel. I'm Rustin, we are Simply Bitcoin, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, you.